Psalm 33, 18 through 20 says, "Behold, the eye of the Lord is on those who fear him, on those who hope for his loving kindness, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul waits for the Lord, and he is our help and our shield." If you are joining us in reading through this 6-month reading plan through the book of Psalms, today's reading is Psalm 33, verses 10 through 22, and I encourage you to read that passage. Well, the second half of Psalm 33 lays out a comparison between those who do not have a relationship with God and those who do. Verse 12 summarizes this fact when David writes, "Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people he has chosen for his own inheritance." Now, obviously, David is addressing Judah at this time, but the principle is completely valid for our time. As we, both as an individual and nation, have focused our relationship on God through Christ, we have been blessed. In 2 wars, we defeated the dominant military power on the earth when we defeated England. And then we rested, with the exception of the Mexican War in the middle of the 1800s, and developed a nation predicated on God's principles until the 1900s. Now, certainly those who were in office during that time were not all believers, but they had a basis for their understanding of the genesis of truth. They knew that there was a God. They knew a little bit about him, but through Christ and the principles they used found and created this nation, and they are found in Scripture. It wasn't until the late 1950s that we began to have a direct conflict with the nation, as a nation, with God as our leader. Interestingly, in the 1950s is when the statement, "In God we trust," was printed onto our currency. It was almost immediately after that the people began to question the morality found in the Scriptures and began following the logic and philosophy of a pediatrician by the name of Dr. Spock. Now, he's no relation to Star Trek's Spock. He taught that there were no absolute values, and the United States began to descend to the place where it currently is. Now, obviously, there are still some who hold the Christian values, but they're becoming less and less important as the world begins to focus more on itself than rather on a relationship with Christ. The idea that everybody is a winner and that everybody can have anything they want is not found in the Scriptures. What is found in the Scriptures is that everyone is valuable, but not everyone is the same. But God is not fooled by any of this. Verse 15 tells us that he fashions the heart of all of them, and he understands all their works. Therefore, those who are non-believers are just as liable for their actions as those who are believers. But today's philosophy can change. Christianity started with a small group of people and spread throughout the known world. We can do exactly the same if we simply trust God and act on what we know to be true. And if you would like a PDF copy of this entire reading plan, please send an email to phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.